Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you had a friend whom you liked more than just friends? Someone who made your heart skip a beat every time you saw them, but the lines between friendship and something more felt blurry? Well, if you have, you know it can be quite a roller coaster of emotions. The movie begins with Dylan giving feedback on a website created by his team. However, he receives a phone call in the middle of it, introducing us to Jamie. Initially, it seems like they're on a call with each other, but later we discover that they're actually talking to their respective partners. Both of them meet up with their dates but end up being dumped, being told that they have too many issues. Disheartened by their breakups, they decide to take a break from dating for a while. Next, we see Dylan on a flight to New York, while Jamie is getting ready in her car to pick someone up for her job as a headhunter. At the airport, Jamie's sign gets blown away, and she tries to catch it on the baggage conveyor. Dylan reaches it first, and they meet for the first time. During their drive, Jamie tries to convince Dylan to consider working for GQ, but he is hesitant. Upon reaching the GQ office, Jamie informs Dylan that she will wait for him until he finishes his interview. It is nighttime when Dylan completes his interview, and he sets out to find Jamie, who has kept her promise. Jamie sends Dylan an offer from GQ, mentioning that the offer has an expiration date. Dylan is still uncertain about relocating to New York for the job. Jamie admits that she wouldn't consider it either, except for the allure of New York. She then decides to show Dylan the realistic side of the city by giving him a tour. During the tour, Dylan has the chance to meet Shaun White and illegally goes to the top of a high-rise building with him. They discuss Dylan's family life there. Jamie takes Dylan to Times Square, where they witness and participate in a flash mob. Dylan enjoys the experience and tells Jamie that he is convinced and will accept the job. Dylan makes the move to New York and begins his first day at GQ. He is welcomed by Tommy, the company's sports editor. Later, Jamie visits Dylan's office to have him sign something. After signing, Dylan asks Jamie if she knows a place where he can grab some lunch. Jamie playfully teases Dylan, asking if it's a date, which makes Dylan feel self-conscious. Jamie reassures him and tells him that it's her treat. During lunch, Dylan and Jamie have a chance to discuss their past relationships and how they have both been told that they have emotional baggage. Jamie then invites Dylan to a party she'll be attending and encourages him to come and meet new people. As the days go by, their bond grows stronger and they become closer. One evening, they have a movie night where Jamie reveals her romantic side by mouthing the lines of the movie they're watching. They begin to discuss the idea that a sexual relationship can be purely physical, without any emotional or romantic implications, comparing it to playing tennis. Dylan takes a chance and suggests that they should actually play tennis together. At first, Jamie thinks he's crazy, but Dylan calls her bluff by stating that he knows she's physically attracted to him. Jamie admits to feeling the same way, and they start listing the things they find attractive about each other. After their initial encounter, the two characters make a pact to keep their relationship purely physical, without crossing the line into a romantic commitment. As they continue their arrangement, they openly communicate their preferences and boundaries. Dylan receives practical instruction on kissing from Jamie. The following day, Jamie visits Dylan at his workplace, and they discuss the events of the previous night. They both acknowledge that it was a mistake and agree to stop their physical involvement. However, they find themselves doing the opposite and engaging in activities like playing tennis together, defying their own agreement. During one of their friendly sessions, Jamie's mother, Lorna, unexpectedly walks in on them. Hurriedly, they get dressed while Lorna mentions that Jamie hasn't introduced her to her new boyfriend. Dylan and Jamie deny any romantic involvement, stating that they are simply friends. Dylan later discusses their situation with his friend Tommy, who warns him that their arrangement is bound to lead to complications, as intimate relationships often do. That night, Warner brings up to Jamie how she didn't expect her to be in that kind of situation. Then, Warner invites Jamie on a trip for the 4th of July as a way to make up for the times she hasn't been the best mom. Jamie accepts humbly. After another counseling session, the two of them mutually agree to put themselves out there, expressing readiness for a serious relationship, and they congratulate themselves for going through it without any complications. The next scene shows them heading to a park, where they each try to point out a stranger whom the other might be interested in. Unfortunately, Jamie fails to find a suitable match for Dylan, but Dylan manages to find the perfect person for Jamie. Dylan approaches a guy named Parker and sets up a date for Jamie. During Jamie's date, she mentions her 5-day rule, stating that she waits for 5 days before becoming intimate with a guy. Parker agrees and assures her that he is willing to wait because she's worth it. On the other hand, Dylan decides to start socializing as well, realizing that Jamie and Parker are hitting it off. Jamie and Parker reach their 5th date, and as promised, Jamie allows Parker to make a move. However, Dylan isn't as fortunate with his date. In the middle of their encounter, he receives a call from his sister Annie, who asks if he'll be returning home for the 4th of July. Dylan confirms that he will be coming home. The next day, after Jamie has enjoyed her night out, she receives a call from Dylan outside her apartment. Jamie informs him that things with Parker are going well. Just as she's about to go inside, she catches Parker sneaking out of her apartment. Parker uses the same excuse that Jamie's exes have used before, and needless to say, things don't end well between them. Jamie goes to Dylan's place while he is packing, intending to share what happened with her and Parker. Dylan comforts Jamie and advises her to forget about it and have a good time with her mother. However, when Jamie returns home to go on her trip with her mother, she finds that her mother has once again abandoned her. Feeling let down, Jamie sends Dylan a photo left by her mother. Dylan then suggests that she join him on his trip, and Jamie agrees. They arrive in Los Angeles, where Dylan introduces Jamie to Sam, his sister's son, as well as Annie, his sister. When they meet Dylan's father, Mr. Harper, he mistakes Jamie for another girl due to his Alzheimer's. That night, Jamie talks to Annie about their father and learns about Dylan's behavior when he was young. When it's time to go to bed, Dylan accidentally enters Jamie's room, thinking she had given him a signal earlier by cracking her neck. Jamie clarifies that there was no signal, and instead expresses her need for emotional support after her recent breakup. They spend the night drinking, and as things calm down, they share a predictable, intimate moment. Afterward, Dylan quietly leaves the room, but Annie catches him in the act the next day during breakfast. Jamie begins taking care of Dylan, which raises suspicions among his family members about their relationship. During dinner, Jamie and Dylan playfully tease each other, further fueling the perception that they are a couple. However, Mr. Harper experiences a health episode and starts questioning the whereabouts of his wife, who had actually left them a long time ago. The following day, Jamie and Dylan hike up to the Hollywood sign. Jamie takes it a step further by jumping the fence and climbing on top of one of the letters. At this point, Jamie asks Dylan why he never mentioned his parents to her before. Dylan explains that he avoids discussing his parents because he doesn't want to deal with the pitying looks people give him when they learn about his father's illness or what happened to his mother. Jamie attempts to discuss the events that unfolded between them, but Dylan quickly dismisses it as a casual encounter, devastating Jamie. The police arrive to rescue them from the sign, and while Jamie jumps off, Dylan is frozen in fear due to his fear of heights. Eventually, Dylan needs to be airlifted, and his ordeal becomes a news feature for everyone to see back home. Annie, who is present, tries to make Dylan admit his feelings for Jamie, but he immediately rejects the conversation and tries to walk away. Annie continues to pursue Dylan, unaware that Jamie is also there. Dylan starts listing reasons why Jamie isn't his type, echoing the things Jamie's exes have said to her before. Jamie overhears this and uses it as an excuse to leave. That night, Jamie's family tries to convince her to stay, but she is clearly upset and chooses to return to New York. Meanwhile, Jamie gives Dylan the silent treatment, and her mother returns home after being abandoned at work. Jamie receives a call from a client expressing their desire for Dylan to work for them. Meanwhile, Dylan continues to try to reach Jamie, but she is not answering his calls. He recalls the place where Jamie goes when she needs a break from her hectic life. Dylan finds Jamie on the rooftop of a building, where she reveals that she overheard Dylan's conversation with Annie. They argue because Dylan still doesn't understand that Jamie sees him as more than just a friend. The following day, Jamie receives a call from her boss, informing her that the client she spoke to about Dylan has directly contacted him. Jamie goes to find Dylan, who is at a photo shoot. When Jamie arrives and confronts Dylan, he becomes defensive and throws back at Jamie the things she said to him on the rooftop that night. Dylan then discusses the arrangements for picking up their father with Annie, while Jamie's mother tries to dissuade Jamie from holding on to her idealistic fairy tale notions, as they are not realistic or meant to be. Dylan goes to the airport to pick up his dad, who mentions that he's hungry. They attempt to find a seat at a restaurant, but Dylan's dad suddenly has one of his episodes and takes off his pants in the middle of the restaurant. Dylan returns to find his dad in this situation, causing everyone in the restaurant to stare. In an unexpected move, Dylan decides to join his dad and takes off his pants as well while they continue to eat. Amidst the unusual situation, Mr. Harper, Dylan's dad, calls out to a girl, mentioning the name of another girl he met in the Navy. He expresses that she was the love of his life, but he was too oblivious to realize it at the time. Mr. Harper then shares some heartfelt advice with Dylan, urging him not to make the same mistake. He advises Dylan that if he ever finds someone he can't imagine life without, he shouldn't waste any time and should tell them right away. With the assistance of his dad and Tommy, who helps them navigate through the New York traffic using his boat. Dylan devises a plan. He ensures everything is arranged before he leaves his dad with Dave, who is there to take care of him. Later, we see Jamie at Grand Central Terminal, talking to her mom on the phone. It turns out that her mom is part of a flash mob, and she reveals that it was all part of Dylan's plan. Dylan then expresses his heartfelt emotions, and Jamie's dream of a fairy tale ending comes true. And that's a wrap on our recap of the movie Friends with Benefits. Leave your thoughts in the comments, subscribe to Alpha Recaps, or you will have a bad love life, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.